Hey, true crime fans. Welcome back to another episode of Hey, True Crime. I'm your host, Dakota. With me, as always, is the lovely Kate.
That's me.
That is her. And tonight, we are going to be doing something a little bit different. So as we go into the Halloween season, I was thinking to myself, Dakota, how are you going to make the show interesting and spooky when you already cover literally some of the worst stuff ever? And I realized to myself, these stories are so interesting because we know so much about the people who did the crimes. But what's even scarier than serial killers, in my opinion, is serial killers who haven't been caught.
Ooh. Yeah.
Right?
That's a valid point.
So for the month of October, once a week, we are going to be covering an unsolved case. We are going to talk about stuff that has no ending, and it's going to be infuriating and frustrating and terrifying. And I can't wait.
Oh boy.
No, so this first case is it's so infuriating. I started reading about this case and I fell down this total rabbit hole, reading about this one. And I was just like, oh my God, why isn't this solved?
So it's just like customer service.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I'll agree with that statement because oh my God, no, seriously. I'm working at a restaurant right now. And I haven't had any issues with customers, but I have had some issues. And I'm sitting there going, why is this happening? No.
Yeah.
No.
We've got a bunch of new people that we're hiring on. And I saw, I had a problem that I literally didn't know how to begin fixing it.
What happened?
It was a return and repurchase gone awry. I don't know what happened. And I couldn't fix it. And I was just like, I don't even know how we got here. What did you do?
How did you do this?
My store manager managed to figure it out, and it was a very long, complicated process. I feel very bad for that customer. That customer was very rightfully irritated because they were there for 20 minutes just trying to fix this.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, that is a lot. And I'm sorry that you had to deal with that. No, I had a manager freaking out at me about, I don't even remember what it was about. It was about how there were people waiting to check in at the restaurant that I'm working at. And he was freaking because they had to wait 2 extra minutes to check in. And he started yelling at me. And I turned to try to explain to him hey, this is what's going on. And he literally just barked out. He was just like, no, I'm talking now. You listen. And stuck his finger in my face. For the record, absolutely illegal to talk to employees like that. Just putting that out there. My mom works in HR. You think I don't know the laws? Because I do. So I told my mom about that, and she was just like, okay, well, next time that happens, well, she's like, you need to talk to your bosses about that, his bosses about that. And next time that happens, just let them know, hey, my mom works in HR, and the way that this guy's been talking to me is absolutely illegal. And if this continues, I know the right stuff to file. And it's not only going to fall on him, but it's going to fall on the company as a whole. So what you gonna do here?
How are you guys gonna fix this problem? Because it is definitely a problem.
It's a problem. Exactly. So, we've had our I mean, that's just working customer service. I understand that it's frustrating and everything. I do. I get it. I've done it since I was 14. I've literally been working in customer service since I was 14 years old. And I I was a bit spoiled in my first job because I worked in a record store that was owned by my stepdad. So I was allowed to say whatever the fuck I wanted to people who were rude to me. So there's that. However, as an adult, I've worked in plenty of corporate jobs and I have learned how to manage this sort of thing in a much more respectful and
diplomatic way.
Diplomatic, but also professional way. And yeah, I also happen to be friends with very many lawyers these days. So, there's all of that. One of my very good friends. One of my good friends. You good?
Yeah, I think that was the Pringles can that was holding my notes up fell over.
Oh, whoopsie doopsie. No, one of my good friends, her husband is a lawyer, and anytime I'm having like any sort of contract issues or anything, I email him and I'm just like, hey, how do I fix this? And he tells me the right things to say, and then it gets fixed. Like, you remember like a few years ago, I was having issues like getting paid and stuff, remember?
Mm-hmm. I recall.
And I had him look over my contract, and he was just like, here are the things you need to say. And I said them, and suddenly everyone's getting paid again.
Weird
concept. Huh. So that ends our rant of be good to your employees and also fuck customer service.
We're tired, y'all. We're so tired.
But we're exhausted, but we're still here to bring the same good content to you, we hope. But let's get right into it with Cindy James. Now, this story is going to infuriate you. I swear to God, Kate, you were going to be so mad.
Cool.
Yeah. But let's just throw.
Oh,
you good?
I think I've got like two people in my house cooking, and I smell two very different things right now because somebody brought Denny's home and somebody's cooking chicken. So I'm smelling like pancakes and chicken.
Ew. I mean, chicken and waffles is pretty good. But anyways, this right here is Cindy James.
Okay.
She is the person that we're going to be talking about tonight. I just want to put this out here. This is a picture. She was a nurse and she had a problem, and we're going to get into the problems that Cindy James had right now. Now, Cindy James was the eldest of 6 children, and at age 19, she met the married Dr. Roy Makepeace, who was like a psychiatrist, by the way. So like, that's the perfect name to go into psychiatry, in my opinion. Just, I'm Dr. Roy Makepeace.
I'm sorry, no, that sounds like a fake name. Like, I'm gonna be a psychiatrist. What should my name be? I help people like make peace with like their inner demons and their problems. Dr. Makepeace.
I was gonna go somewhere else. I help people make peace with their problems. Make peace, make peace, make peace, make peace, make peace. Make peace. Oh, what could I call myself? Oh my God. I'm the make peace doctor. I'm Dr. Roy Create Calm.
It's like that one episode of Powerpuff Girls, and it's like, what's your name? Miss Good Lady. Miss I'm a Good Lady.
Right? Seriously. So yeah, Dr. Create Calm here. He was 18 years her senior when the two started their affair. He was married, and I think he may have had children, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. The information about Roy is limited at best. Basically, I know that he existed. That's pretty much what I've got here. I know that he existed. I know that Cindy was a nursing student when they met, and they started an affair that turned into a 17-year marriage, actually.
He did it.
We'll get into that theory. The two married in 1965 and divorced 17 years later in 1982. And it was at that point, only 4 months later, that her life descended into a living hell that would end with her death. She began to work as a nurse and excelled at counseling children with emotional problems. And it wasn't long after. Okay, so she had been a nurse, and she counseled children and stuff when she was married to Roy there. But it wasn't long after the divorce that she first went to her parents and told them about harassing phone calls and letters she had been receiving. And when the message turned from sinister to threatening her life, she went to the police. Now, as the harassment continued, those who knew Cindy said that they could see the toll it was having on her physically. She had always been described as beautiful and vibrant, but now she appeared tired and frayed. That's so sad. Like, I have another picture of Cindy when she was, not being harassed. So let's, oh wait, no, it's this one. Let me just pull this up real quick. Oh, wrong one. I mean, that is also before she was being harassed and everything. Pretty lady. Very pretty lady.
Yeah, definitely.
Very pretty lady. But
for sure, certified Betty.
Yeah, absolutely. God damn it. Why do I keep doing this? All right, I'm deleting this picture. There. I can't pull up that picture again. God damn it. So mad. Fuck's sake. All right, there we go. That's the picture I wanted to bring up. It's small, but still very pretty lady.
Mm-hmm.
So she went from like that to being, just obviously tired, obviously just going through it. I mean, you can always tell when someone's going through it. But the threats escalated. At one point, Cindy found, and this is horrible, animal abuse trigger warning here, guys. Cindy found 3 dead cats hanging in her garden. Her porch lights had been smashed, and when she tried to call the police, she discovered that the telephone lines had been cut.
Oh, fun. Super fun.
Super duper fun. Super duper fun. So Cindy's just having a real great time right now,
Oh, yeah.
And this is all happening in Canada, by the way. This is a story that's happening in British Columbia, I think. So, she's trying to call the police and just, hello, hello, hello.
Just like walks outside, sees her garden. I don't know about that.
There's a bunch of dead cats on my lawn. Who put those there? So, oh my God, are you okay?
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Oh man, my broken body. I've just been like a bag of popcorn like all day. Like every other time I've moved, something has popped.
I gotta remind me to send you a link to that Viva La Dirt League sketch about that. It's like Life After 30, and it's like the 3 of the guys like sitting there, and then one of them's just like, "Oh, you guys want a beer?" And they're like, "Yeah." And so he's just like leaning over to get beers, and it's just like crack. It's the whole time he's singing. I was just like, "Why is that a mood? I'm not even 30."
Oh God, 30 is happening younger and younger these days.
No fucking kidding. Anyways, so notes started to appear on her doorstep after that instead of being mailed. So this person is just getting ballsier and ballsier. And they're just like, they're fucking showing up at her house and everything. They're like, well, I already like killed a whole bunch of cats and put them on her porch. And, I cut her phone line. So I may as well just drop off these notes. I gotta go to the post office. I gotta go to the dry cleaners. I gotta go drop off some threatening notes to Cindy. Oh, it seems like I'm gonna have a pretty good day. Hey,
spending so much money on stamps for her these days. I really ought to just deliver them myself,
I already got to send out all these notes. Making fun of Americans for having to pay for healthcare.
feel like she'd
Pick
appreciate
random.
those jokes, you know. She's a nurse.
Yeah, she's a nurse. She'll appreciate that. So pretty soon after that started happening, the notes on her doorstep, Cindy started getting physically attacked. This is just pure escalation. Pure escalation. At one point, Cindy's friend Agnes Woodcock showed up one night to visit. Agnes knocked on the door, but Cindy didn't answer. And Cindy was known for her taking long evening baths. And at first, Agnes thought that that's what could be keeping her friend. So Agnes tried walking around the back, and instead of just, popping open the back door and waiting for Cindy to get out of the bath, she found Cindy there, crouched down, looking like she was trying to hide. And once she realized that it was Agnes, Cindy got up, and that's when Agnes saw a nylon stocking tied around Cindy's neck.
Oh, geez. Here we go again with the nylons.
Yeah, I know, right? Seriously. Always with these fucking nylons. I just gotta say, thank God women don't actually wear nylons that much anymore.
Yeah, right.
We're less likely to have them in our homes. I'd like to see a serial killer try to strangle someone with a fishnet. I'm just saying.
Don't put that out in the universe. Do you have any idea how many fishnets I have?
Probably less than me. I'm a sideshow entertainer and burlesque performer. I have a lot of fishnets.
I literally have a drawer full of fishnets.
Either way, we both have a fuck ton of fishnets. So Cindy was shaken, and she relayed what happened to her shortly before Agnes had arrived. She said that she had gone into her garage to get something, and someone grabbed her from behind. They wrapped the stocking around her neck and were strangling her. The only thing she got a good look at was her attacker's shoes, which were white sneakers. Believing they got scared and ran away when Agnes arrived, Cindy was able to escape to the backyard and hid. The notes then became more dark and more threatening. On the windshield of Cindy's car, someone, the attacker, left a photograph of a corpse being pushed into a morgue. That's terrifying.
Hey, you ever seen what a morgue looks like? Picture on windshield. Well, you will.
Except you'll be dead, so you won't actually see it, but it'll see you. I'm just imagining, just Chad. You ever seen the inside of a morgue, Chad?
No.
You want to?
Oh, no, thanks.
Click.
Oh, Chad.
God, I just love Pete Davidson so much. But anyways, Cindy started receiving orders of raw meat being sent to her home, which honestly, you're just saving money on meat there, babe.
Yeah, but I mean, would you trust that? Even if this wasn't happening, would you trust that?
Oh, fuck no.
Yeah, no. Do not trust mysterious meat deliveries. That sketch is fuck.
What if it's from a really good restaurant, a meat delivery place though? Like good restaurant meat quality, you know?
Anyone can get packaging. Anyone can get their hands on packaging and put random meat into it and just say hey, this is from here. Don't trust it. If you didn't see who delivered it, you didn't talk to anybody, and you aren't expecting it.
No, but what if it's just a delivery dude rolling up with a dolly stacked with grade A quality filet mignon.
Still super sketch. You don't know what's been done to that filet mignon.
Here's what you do. So here's what you do. You cook a bunch of it, right? And then you have a dinner party for your least favorite people in the neighborhood. And then you eat like a portobello mushroom and you're like, oh, I'm trying like a vegetarian thing, but I wanted you guys to have this like fancy, like, you know, Omaha steak filet mignon thing. And everyone's like, oh, fuck yeah, Cindy. Like, yes, Cindy, yes. They're like eating the steak. If they're okay, then I'd say it's okay to eat the steak.
And also, you just wasted a bunch of steak on your least favorite people in the neighborhood.
Yeah, but then maybe they stop being your least favorite people and they stop stealing your newspaper off of your front lawn in the morning.
Yeah, that's true. And they actually like start picking up after their dog when they take them for a walk and shit like that.
At least in front of your house. They just stop letting the dog shit on your lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, Cindy started receiving those orders of raw meat being sent to her home, and once she arrived to find her dog shaking and sitting in its own feces with a cord wound around its neck tightly. Sometimes she would receive near daily threats and then would get nothing for long periods. Her personal journals reflected how traumatized Cindy was with what was happening to her, and the police didn't seem to believe her stories and openly let her know that.
Wow.
So Cindy knew that she had to fight for herself. She moved to a new house. She got her car painted. And she even changed her last name. Cindy was trying. In fact, she also hired a private investigator, Ozzy Caban. Ozzy Caban.
Yikes. Like, why?
I actually looked up Ozzy Caban online, and he runs like this really big like security system out of Canada. And he does like all kinds of security stuff. He's not just a PI, but like he also like teaches you how to do like home security, and like you don't need contracts to work with him and stuff. So it's like, and he does the first like initial like talk with you and everything for free. So Ozzy seems like a pretty decent dude. I'm trying to email him to see if we can interview him for Patreon, because I think that would be really interesting.
That would be really interesting. That would be cool to talk to him.
It would be cool to talk to him not only about Cindy's case, but also talk to him about like what we could do to, you know, stay safe ourselves, and what to do if like a stalker comes a coming.
Yeah.
You know?
It's always better to be prepared than not.
Yeah, exactly. So Ozzy started on her case, but his client was hiding something back. When talking to Cindy's parents, they agreed that they thought that she was withholding crucial information, and they speculated that Cindy might have an idea of who was doing this to her all along, but was scared to say. Besides tracking down leads, Ozzy had lights installed outside of Cindy's house and gave her a two-way radio with a panic button so she could easily reach him, even if her telephone line was cut. Late one night, Ozzy heard odd noises coming across the two-way radio and rushed to Cindy's house. The door was locked, so he kicked down the door, where he found her laying in the hallway with a knife through her hand. And attached to the knife was a note that said, "You are dead, bitch." Cindy was motionless, and at first Ozzy thought that she was dead, but he found a pulse. Cindy was taken to the hospital, and after regaining consciousness, she was able to tell investigators that she felt someone put a needle in her arm and that she had no recollection of the stabbing. The police believed that Cindy staged the attack herself, so they didn't even bother to take fingerprints at her home or on the knife or the note.
Oh my God. Why are police the actual worst?
And you would think that Canadian police would be a little bit better, but I mean, look at how fucking long it took them to catch that Don't Fuck with Cats guys, Luca Magnotta. They had all that information. You weren't here for that episode. That was when we had my friend Brian co-host.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, that sounds familiar, but I don't think I was there for that one. So yeah.
No, you weren't there for that one. That was a different episode. But still, like, whom's in the fuck? So Ozzy didn't believe that Cindy would have had been able to inject the needle or stab herself at the angles that both entered the body, and he strongly believed that someone had attacked his clients. Cindy wanted to try and remember anything she could and agreed to go under hypnosis and take a polygraph test. But unfortunately, it was determined after testing that Cindy was too traumatized to be able to give useful information, which fucking of course she was. Of course she was traumatized. Bitch just got stabbed.
What do you want from her? You want her to be calm and lucid after this type of shit? What the fuck?
Well, yeah, I was sitting in the kitchen having a cup of coffee, and this man came in and he just stabbed me right through the hand.
You sure it was coffee you were drinking?
Yes.
You really sure about that? Wasn't tea?
No, it was a cup of decaf coffee. I had it after dinner.
And you're sure that it was a man who came in? Are you sure someone really came into your house? Is that what you're sure that happened?
Yes, sir. I'm sure of that.
Okay, well, she's just not giving us anything right now.
Is there anything else I can do to be helpful? I just really want to help with the investigation.
Yeah, we can't work with her. We can't work with her like this. It's just, we're not getting anything useful here. This isn't, she's just,
well,
like,
he
we're
was
just
about 6'4". He was about 6'4", and he had...
That's all right. That's all right. You clearly are, you clearly have been through a lot. We think that we'll handle this ourselves. You can go.
You don't want the description?
I don't know how accurate your memory will be. You're clearly too shaken up to have an accurate idea.
If it helps, he left his driver's license at the scene.
Anybody could have dropped that. Like, anybody could have been in possession of a driver's license.
But it looks just like that's the picture of the guy that stabbed me.
Miss, we don't know how to tell you this, but it's circumstantial at best. We can't do anything with that.
But he said that he was the one who's been harassing me.
That's hearsay. Not admissible.
He made a verbal threat against my life and said that he was going to kill me.
Yeah, but where are the witnesses? No one can verify that. I need to stop this. I'm like making myself angry. I don't like this character I've been stuck in for the past 2 minutes.
You put yourself in that character. All right. So the calls started picking up with frequency, but they were so short that a trace couldn't be made. And I actually do have I have a recording of one of the calls, and it is actually fucking terrifying.
Great.
Yeah. So just a heads up, it's only 11 seconds long, but it's fucking terrifying. So let's pull this one up. All right, done this off of. All right, here we go. Let's see if this works. You good?
Yeah, I had something in my eye.
Were you able to hear that?
I literally couldn't hear a thing.
Oh, okay. Let me try it from a different source. Give me 1 second. Oh, it's creepy. I hate that I have to listen to that twice now. I don't like it. All right, so this is on the website actually of Cindy's sister. So I was gonna share this picture later, but let's see if this works because I do want to share this, and it is fucking terrifying. And I am sorry about this, Kate. what was being said there. It said, Cindy dead meat soon.
Cool.
So yeah. Yeah. Fun stuff. Funsies.
Like the hairs on the back of my neck actually stood.
Yeah. No, it's terrifying. I listened to that earlier and I was just like, I need to take a break.
I'm really glad
got a comment here from
I'm really glad I can like see what's behind me in my camera right now, because otherwise I'd just kind of be like,
yeah. Yeah, I know, right? Thea's kind of pissed at me right now too, bro. Why are you trying to give me nightmares? And then she goes, I love this for us. Thanks, Thea.
I'm upsetty spaghetti. I did not like that.
I didn't like it either, but imagine fucking Cindy having to deal with that every day. Like, shit. All right. So it was a strange fucking incident. And the police eventually decided to try to see if maybe something was like happening, you know, and like see if they could like catch someone in the act, just maybe probably to get Cindy off their ass, because like really they did not put that much manpower into this investigation.
Yeah,
so the police occasionally would set up a 24-hour surveillance. No calls would come in and no notes would be left at her home. And the police used this as more proof that it was all faked. But a more sinister explanation could be made that whoever was attacking her had at least information about police movements. We're going to get into that in a little bit, because that is something that I do want to bring up, and that is actually a really good point in this case. But her home was never tested for listening devices, and the police never did an investigation in the policeman that Cindy had recently been seeing. Oh, and not only seeing, by the way, she turned down his proposal.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Excuse me, one moment.
Yep, yep. I knew this one was going to be infuriating.
All right, I'm fine.
You good?
Please continue.
Okie dokie.
Oh,
so
that made my nose itchy.
What?
That made my nose itchy.
So if the attacker really wanted to make Cindy look crazy, avoiding making themselves known when the police were watching could cast a lot of doubt on her story. Now, the next attack was a rapid escalation that left Cindy hospitalized, as if being stabbed through the hand wouldn't leave you hospitalized. She was found near frozen, suffering from hypothermia in a ditch over 6 miles from her home. She was left wearing a man's work boot and glove with a black nylon stocking around her neck. And she had black and blue eyes and other numerous injuries and bruises to her body.
She obviously did it to herself.
Honestly, that's what the police think. Like they legitimately said that to her. They were just like, we think that you're doing this yourself. So
oh god, I'm getting a migraine.
I know, right? Let's share this picture right there. Yeah, so you can see Cindy with a clearly black eye, and she's gone from that very, pretty personality, the very pretty that she had been before, and like look at how skinny she is. Like look at that. Like you can see it in her face, and your face is one of the hardest places to like get skinny. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and like she looks exhausted.
She looks so tired. This poor girl. So after the last attack and fearing for her life, she asked her friend Agnes and her husband Tom Woodcock to stay the night with her. One night after everyone had gone to bed, they were awoken by noises in the basement. When they went to see what was going on, they found the basement in flames, and as they tried to call 911, they found the phone line had been cut. Tom ran outside to go ask a neighbor to call the fire department and saw a man standing out front of the house. Tom asked him to call 911, but the man instead started running away down the street without saying a word. Police determined that the fire was deliberately started and labeled it an act of arson. They searched the basement windows and said they couldn't find any usable fingerprints on the windowsill that the perp would have had to enter through. Therefore, they determined that the fire was staged.
What the?
I know. Investigators also pointed to the fact that they had seen Cindy walk her little dog alone at night to prove that she must not be scared of an attacker. Now, those close to Cindy noted that her mental state seemed to be deteriorating, undergoing the pressure. Worrying that Cindy might be suicidal, her doctor committed her to a psychiatric hospital. And let's be honest, Cindy probably got her first nights of like actual rest in months at that point.
Yeah. I was literally just thinking, like, you know, that's probably the safest that she had been in ages.
At least the safest that she'd felt.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So after 10 weeks of care, Cindy was able to go back home. And I'm sure at that point, Cindy's just like, please don't make me leave. I'm safe here. He can't get me here.
I don't want to go home. What if I tell you I'm still feeling suicidal? Can I stay?
Are you feeling suicidal?
Yes. I just don't see a light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay, well, let's just do a quick word association, all right, Cindy?
A quick what? What'd you say?
Just quick word association.
Oh.
Just finish my sentence, Cindy, okay? It's gonna be really easy, okay?
Okay.
I want to
die.
Tomorrow, I am going to
die.
Next week, I'm planning to be
dead. Die.
We're trying to prove that she doesn't actually want to die. Come on, Kate. I know that you want to die. We're not playing word association for you right now, okay?
Shit, you're right.
All right. Cindy, word association. Next week, I will
go home.
You don't actually want to die.
Shit. I mean, plant flowers. Shit.
Go ahead.
No. Well, set a fire. I'm gonna set a fire.
Set a fire like you did to your basement?
Shit.
Oh god, this is horrible. I feel so bad. Okay, so after she was able to go home, she confessed to her friends and family that she had indeed been holding back information. She claimed that her attacker had threatened to kill her family if she outed them. Then Cindy said that she planned to go after them herself.
Oh, yes, no, Cindy, no, honey, no.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't do that, Cindy. Cindy was in a state of mental decline and was suicidal, but anyone who has been through the years of ordeals that she had been through surely would have been suffering from stress-related issues. She had been diagnosed as, actually, when she was in the hospital, she had been diagnosed as, paranoid. And she was diagnosed as hysterical. And I'm like, who the fuck wouldn't be paranoid and hysterical after all that nonsense? Point me in their direction. Point me in their motherfucking direction.
Just quite frankly, I feel like once we got to the cats, she has every reason to be paranoid.
Right? Go on with my computer charger right now. Sorry, my computer charger is being a bitch. Anyways, so finally, Cindy went back to the police and told them who she believed was behind the attacks. She named her ex-husband, Dr. Roy Makepeace, who was a psychiatrist. Police spoke with him and he declined all the allegations and turned over evidence that he had on his answering machine. Someone, supposedly the person who was harassing his ex-wife, had called and left a death threat for him, which, let's be honest, how fucking hard is it to leave a message on the answering machine? Can you imagine him? Like, you know, just, he's like talking with his friend. He's like, oh, hey. So I'm going to call my phone and let it go to voicemail, okay? Because then I'm going to, like, leave a spooky message so it'll seem like we're not the ones that are harassing Cindy, okay?
And his friend's just like, oh, shit. You're so brilliant, man.
I know, right? Okay, so I'm going to call the phone from this other phone. Don't answer it, okay?
Okay. All right, I won't answer it.
All right. Okay. I'm going to a payphone. I'll be back in like 10 minutes. Don't answer the phone. All right. I'll be right back.
All right.
He like goes and just at the payphone. Ring, 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 ring. Ring, 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 ring.
Friend immediately. Hello?
I told you not to answer the phone.
I'm sorry. What if it was an emergency?
It's not an emergency. It's me. I am calling to leave a message for myself. Okay. Now hang up.
Okay. All right. Bye.
All right. And don't hang. Damn it. That's another phone. Ring, 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 ring. Ring, 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 ring. Ring, 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 ring. Ring, 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 ring.
Ah, hello?
Are you fucking kidding me? Man. So then get this, in the ultimate form of fucking gaslighting. Okay, you ready for the ultimate form of gaslighting right now? Ready for this? I said, are you ready for the ultimate form of gaslighting right now? Because it's coming.
Oh, God.
Ooh, she coming. Her ex-husband said to the police that he believed that Cindy was suffering from a split personality.
Motherfucker. He done did
it. Now, this has never been corroborated, and the medical staff and the doctors who treated her said that in the psychiatric ward said that she was never diagnosed with that disorder. The disorder as such is now known as dissociative identity disorder. At the time, it still would have been multiple personality disorder. But as all of this was happening, on May 25th, 1989, Cindy went to the mall to do some shopping and deposit her paycheck from the hospital, and she never made it home. Now, a mall in Canada is a little bit different than a mall in the States, in that it's usually like a drugstore and like, you know, grocery store and all of that and everything, but like all inside of like a building kind of. It's different.
So like more like a shopping center.
Kind of, but like a shopping center is usually like, it's like not a strip mall. Like, is that what you're thinking of?
I mean, I'm thinking of like there's an area by me that it's got like the grocery store and like the drugstore and like this, that, and the other, and like it's outdoors, so it's like it's different but similar idea, I guess. Yeah. But I don't know.
So with in Canada, the way that I saw it, it was like you go inside of a building, and then inside of that building there is like the grocery store and like the dollar store and the drugstore.
Oh, okay. So it's like a Walmart.
So it's like a mall.
I couldn't even get through
not
that.
quite.
Yeah, no, I was joking.
Quite,
I couldn't even get through that.
Okay. Anyways, so her car would be found in the shopping mall where she was last seen. And when the investigators went over the vehicle, they found blood on the driver's side door and items from her wallet that were thrown about outside the car. Oh, wait, this is Canada. Items from her wallet that were thrown about outside the car. Now, in the trunk, they found the groceries that Cindy had bought, along with a wrapped gift that she had gotten for her friend's child. For 2 weeks, her family and friends were left to wonder where Cindy was and what happened to her. Then, the gruesome discovery of her body shocked everyone. A construction worker stepped away from a construction site where he was working to an oversized yard that was like super overgrown and everything. Made sure that he was out of sight from, any people around, and took a leak in the oversized plants, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as he's turning to go back to the construction site, he found Cindy's body.
Oof.
She was found in the front yard of an abandoned house in a high traffic area with lots of pedestrian foot travelers. So initially, it seemed like she couldn't have been killed when she was first reported missing, but after the autopsy, it showed that she had most likely died the day that she disappeared. Her body showed numerous wounds, including an injection mark on her arm, and it would later be determined that she had been injected with a high dose of morphine. She was found with both of her hands and feet tied behind her body, and around her neck was the signature black nylon, which had been used to strangle her. What was missing from the scene was the needle used to administer the morphine. The police concocted the notion that Cindy had injected herself elsewhere and then discarded the needle and then walked the 1.5 miles to the scene where she had then tied her feet and hands behind her own back after strangling herself. So even if you believe all of that, it still seems odd that her body wasn't discovered earlier.
Why are the police the worst?
Right? Seriously, right? So the official cause of death was morphine and other drugs overdose. And even though the Royal Canadian Mounted Police claim that it was a suicide or possibly an accident, the coroner ruled both of those out immediately.
Yeah, because the coroner's not a fucking dumbass piece of shit.
You want to see Thea's comment right now?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, wait, no, not that one. Nope. Yeah, right. I feel like the coroner is just like, okay, so it looks like somebody injected her in the back of her arm in like a place that would make it absolutely impossible for her to have done it herself. So I'm ruling this as a homicide.
And they're just like, really? You think it's impossible for her to get it in the back of her arm? You think that angle, there's no way she could have done that herself?
At the angle that she was injected, yeah. Uh-huh.
You don't know how flexible she was. She could have done it herself.
She wasn't a contortionist.
She still could have done it.
It's not like she had Ehlers-Danlos syndrome or anything. Like, she wasn't a contortionist. I can see right here that she did not inject this herself. Plus, we found someone else's thumbprint on the back of her arm, like right next to the injection site. So
she could have had somebody do it for her. Like, if she couldn't reach it, she probably just had somebody do it for her.
Yeah, the murderer?
Or, you know, she could have just asked some random person to do it, and then she obviously just walked along and let herself die.
But then how did she tie her hands and feet behind her back and then strangle herself?
Oh my God, we are such good detectives. We're so smart. Case closed.
Officer, but
thanks.
So Ozzy believes that she had been taken and killed elsewhere, then her body was dumped shortly before it was discovered. Her private investigator also believes, along with her parents, that the police weren't interested in finding who was attacking Cindy, but trying to blame the victim. Both of Cindy's parents have since passed away.
Yeah, it sure would seem that way, given that, you know, they keep saying that she did it to herself.
He has got a good comment here. Cops, I'm legally blind. Obviously. The coroner. No. So, both Cindy's parents have since passed away, never knowing what happened to their daughter. Her sister, Melanie Hack, has written a book and runs a website dedicated to trying to find her sister's killer. And that's the website that we used to into that horrible fucking phone call recording thing. That nonsense. Yeah. It is called melaniehack.com. So go ahead and check that out if you want more information about this whole thing and about poor Cindy. And yeah, so there's a few, you know, there's a few obvious people. Obviously, her ex-husband could have done it. A few obvious suspects. Her ex-husband could have done it, especially considering this started happening 4 months after their divorce. You know?
Yeah, right? That is, I feel like that's pretty telling. I don't know how soon she started dating that cop, or how quickly he proposed.
I don't really know the timeline for that. Information it's hard to find a lot about this unless you buy Melanie's book, which I didn't have the time to do this week, or the money. So yeah. But anyway, so there is a theory that he had a form of Munchausen's, which we've talked about, and that Cindy was, this is, in my opinion, this is, you know, theory. This is how to blame the victim, the theory. Cindy had a form of Munchausen's and was making all of this happen to herself. Her friends were asleep in bed when the fire started in the basement. So obviously she could have started the fire in the basement and caused a clatter, which made them wake up and be like, "Oh, Cindy, there's a fire!" And in the time that she stopped making the clatter and like got upstairs, they were able to get downstairs and be like, "Oh my God, fire!" But like they would have called her. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't think the Munchausen's really holds any water.
I don't think Munchausen's holds water either. Anyways, but then there's the theory that we brought up before, Officer Pat McBride. He has been considered by some to be a suspect over the initial investigation. Not that there really was much of an initial investigation, but it was fairly obvious that he had a romantic interest in her from the start. It's speculated by some that the two had a fling while he was renting a room from her in her house. However, the relationship ended after he proposed to Cindy, but she refused him. However, it's claimed by Pat himself that they remained friendly. How friendly, I have no fucking idea. But, like, I'm just saying.
Oink, oink.
I don't know. I just don't fucking know. I don't know. And I want to do more investigation into this episode, into this whole case myself, because fuck the police.
Yeah, I'm call me crazy, but I'm kind of reluctant to trust the word of the cops with something like this.
At all. At all. Okay, so this is terrible. You are all terrible, and I hate you. Thanks for nothing. So that is the story of Cindy James. Case. It is really sad that this. Yeah, I knew you would be. Thea says, I may not know who killed this poor girl, but I know she did not do it herself. And in the nicest way possible, I am one of the dumbest people I know. I know, Thea. You and Kate. I don't know what it is with me having dumb friends. Kate, you want some garbanzo beans?
Fuck you, okay? You're an asshole.
And then joking. But seriously, this whole case, it was insane. It's infuriating. It's so upsetting. And I do want to email that investigator, the PI Ozzy, and be like, hey, would you be willing to be like interviewed about this case? And if not about the case, just about to keep yourself safe and everything for our Patreon series. Because like, I feel like that would be a good thing to know. You know?
Yeah, that does seem like that. I feel like that is something that anybody should know, just like how to keep yourself safe.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. But if you liked this, my dad's watching Shrek too.
That's so random.
Yeah, that's Shrek 2 that's happening. He just got out on 16 millimeter, so he's watching it on the projector in the living room.
Oh, your dad's funny.
That's a word. No, he is. He is. Anyways, if you were infuriated by this content and you want more, please feel free to throw us a couple bucks down below. My Venmo is at Dakota's Beard. Kate's Venmo is at Kate Ulrich 42, or you can support our show at patreon.com/Dakota's Beard, where you get all kinds of exclusive content like us reading horrible erotica and more. So yeah.
Going slowly insane.
Well, we will be this month when we read more stories that have not been solved.
Oh, God. I'm excited. Are you excited? Let's keep doing this.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's going to be the best. All right, guys. We will be back on Thursday. So until then, say goodnight, Kate.
Good night, Kate.
Good night, and don't trust the cops.
And that's that on
I can come up with. Don't trust the cops. Yeah. All right. Good night, everyone.